What is up, Instagram and YouTube? Because this will be on YouTube later. So, hello everybody. Welcome back to Monday Night Live with me, Coach Adam here. We're going to be doing mindful eating for better results. Let's turn this light up a little bit because I'm going to need some light. Let's move this over a little bit too because, you know, probably better. There we go. A little adjustment there. I think we're ready. What's up, Evelyn? What's up, guys? I'm late today. I had to set up all this stuff. This light is hot, man. Sheesh. Turn it down a little bit. Call you. Oh, hey, turn the fan. Let's turn the fan on. And you know, it's raining, but you know, it gets warm in here with the ring light thing. Is it too bright? Should I turn it down a little bit? My face is like white. Oof. That's good. Looks weird. Alright. So let's get so hot. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thanks, Andy. You too. Oh. So you guys, I upgraded. I got myself a little podium here. Laptop up here. You know, I'm standing. Gotta give you that good energy. This light is not the business right now. I don't know about that one. No, let's do that. We're gonna have to turn the other one on or put it behind the camera. I know it's supposed to be behind, but you know. It's okay. Burger Man. No seas así, Burger Man. Take my shirt out. No. I'm gonna change this. Let's go up to regular light. There we go. That's probably better. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and start because I think we got a few people on here. Freaking Eric. For those of you watching this video later, Eric told me to take my shirt off. Maybe we'll wait till the end of the video. I don't know. Alright, so anyways, you guys, I am going to talk about mindful eating for better results. Anytime you guys do have a question, though, please go ahead and drop it off in the comments. I'll go ahead and answer. It doesn't have to be about this particular subject. If you have another question that you've been struggling with, something that you need help with, or something that you've just been curious about or confused about, I'll go ahead and answer. So, mindful eating for better results. First of all, what the heck is mindful eating, right? It's kind of, it's in the title, right? Mindful eating. It's really just thinking about what you're eating, when you're eating, how you're eating, what you're eating, who you're eating with, what your surroundings are when you're eating. It's just about being fully present and fully engaged when you're enjoying your meals. I think a lot of times we have so many distractions around us. It's either our phones, maybe we have the TV on the background, maybe we have, maybe we're at work and we're just trying to still do work while we're eating, schoolwork, anything. You know, there's so many distractions around, so it takes away from us being fully present and engaged while we're eating our food. And as corny as that sounds, I guess, to like be present while you're eating, there's so many benefits to it that we just don't even know because we don't even try to slow down while we eat. We don't even try to have no distractions. I feel like we prefer to have a distraction when we're doing something that's kind of mundane as eating, right? There's not a lot going on while you're eating, so to be present and mindful can be kind of a challenge. Shauna said she's watching this live while eating. See? While I appreciate you watching the live, try to be a little present too at the same time. Or take this for example, Shauna. Right now while you're eating, I'm going to go through a couple examples of how to be mindful while you're eating. So as you're eating, Shauna, savor each bite. Slow down, right? Enjoy the flavors that you've either created in your kitchen or that someone else has, right? Enjoy the textures, enjoy what you ordered, enjoy what you made, enjoy the aromas of the food, enjoy how the food all goes together and how it's making you feel in that moment. So today, for example, the last 24 hours have been super rainy out here in LA, right? Super cold, wet, just soup weather. hot food weather, ramen weather, noodle weather, right? So when it comes to your food and your soup and something like today, it's so perfect to slowly eat that soup, right? It's going to be nice and hot. Slowly enjoy that broth. Taste the ingredients all together. And then when you do swallow it, you're going to feel the warmth of the soup go down your esophagus and into your stomach, right? So be mindful of those things so you can really feel that. It's going to change your relationship with food. You're going to be able to enjoy food much more. You're going to be able to pick different options of food that maybe you haven't chosen because you don't know what it's like. So like Audrey right now, she said she's mindful of how spicy her soup is. Soup weather, right? It's hot, it's cold today. Burger Man enjoys his ice cream when it rains. A lot of people enjoy cold food when it rains. Like a lot of people think I'm weird that I get iced coffee on cold days. There's just something about it, right? So if you enjoy it, right, you're savoring it. There's nothing wrong with sitting there and looking like a lunatic eating your food all savory, right? So do that. Take advantage of the time you have while you eat to savor your food. It's like my parents or my mom used to always tell me, I was like, don't be an animal, like enjoy your food. I haven't listened. I still eat a lot really fast. But taking my advice, I actually did that today. I did some kind of mindful in the sense where I was a little more mindful of what I picked to snack on. I knew I was going to eat later, so I knew I shouldn't have a big meal in the middle of the day. I was going to have food at home. So I was a little more mindful of what I chose and what I ate throughout the day so that I didn't get full and I didn't fill up my calorie intake for the day. I still got food waiting for me, so let's get this going, guys. The next thing you guys want to do when you're eating is to make sure you are listening to your stomach. So listen to your hunger and your fullness cues. That's going to prevent overeating, right? Once you're full, you're going to stop eating. The problem that we have sometimes, though, is that we eat too fast. And so the signal from our stomach to our brain that says we're full hasn't reached our brain yet. So eat slow, right? Savor your food, first of all. That's going to help you eat slowly. Be present and mindful. That's going to help you eat slowly. So then when your body does get full, you've given that signal enough time to reach your brain so that it'll tell you, hey, stop eating, we're done, let's put this away, save it for tomorrow. So listen to yourself, right? Don't just be like, well, there's still a little bit of food there. I know I'm full, but I don't want to leave that because, I can't leave. I used to be that way. Like if there was food still on the plate, it just had to be eaten, and it's a psychological thing, right? It goes back to when you're a kid. It's like you can't leave the table until you finish your food. So now it's, all right, I'm full. I'm going to put this food aside and we're going to save it for another time. Eric, you don't know that. So well, we'll teach it to you, man. You'll learn it, I promise. Next thing you can do, I mentioned it earlier, we have so many distractions around us, whether we're at school, at work, driving, anywhere where there's distractions, right? So when we're eating, there's even more distractions. I feel like there's more distractions when we're eating because you sit and then you're kind of sitting there doing nothing, right? You're just sitting there eating. So, doing this can be kind of boring. I get it. So we eat, we take our phone out, we scroll, or we're on our computer, we're doing some work, or we're watching TV or a movie or whatever it is. We have so many distractions that we're not really paying attention to what we're eating. Some people actually wear headphones and listen to music or something or watch a movie while they eat, which I think it's crazy. It blows my mind wearing headphones when eating because I can just hear myself chew. It's annoying. But maybe that's a good way of paying attention and focusing on what you're eating. Hear yourself chew. But what I suggest is just find a space where there's not a lot of distractions and eat your food. I feel like the dining rooms don't get used as much anymore. Maybe that's just me. Most places I've been to, we're not really eating in the dining room sometimes. But that's usually a great place to eat your food, right? It signals to your brain, hey, we're in the eating area, we're at the eating table, let's eat food, let's not have any distractions. So create a space for yourself to be there and be present while you enjoy that and not... Because what happens is if you're watching TV or if you're working or if you're... watching a movie, whatever, you have so many distractions around you, you're not going to pay attention to you being full. You're just going to keep eating until you're done. You go, oh shit, I ate the whole thing. So eliminating distractions is going to help you pay attention to what you're doing at the same time. Next one, chew thoroughly. This goes back to my mom telling me I ate like an animal. Whatever. Just mean. Jeez. Anyways, proper chewing is so important in digestion and absorbing of the nutrients, and also satisfaction. If you didn't know this, well, you know your stomach digests food, right? But if you didn't know this, your digestion actually starts in your mouth. As soon as you start chewing food and breaking it, you're breaking down that food. You're mixing it with the saliva in your mouth, and then when you swallow it, it's already starting to break down. Your stomach starts to break it down even more and pull out those nutrients, so that when it gets to your intestines, it absorbs the nutrients. So when you chew your food slowly, as I mentioned before, right, listening to your hunger and fullness cues, you're gonna eat slower because you're gonna take more time chewing your food, which is gonna allow for, again, that signal of fullness to reach your brain, and then you don't overeat. So along with listening to your hunger and fullness cues, chewing thoroughly and savoring each bite is gonna help you stop from overeating. I think that's the biggest thing we do, is we just overeat. Especially like when we snack, we just mindlessly keep putting food in our mouth and not realize that we just had a whole bag of chips or a whole bag of hot Cheetos. That's me. And man, I haven't had hot Cheetos in like a month and a half. I think I'm due. It's time for some hot Cheetos. Oh man, I should have mentioned that. Now this next one. Appreciate nutrient-dense foods. Hot Cheetos are not nutrient-dense. There's no nutrients in them, so they're a guilty pleasure. But choose nutrient-dense foods. What that's going to do, it's going to provide nourishment for your body. It's going to provide vitamins, minerals that you need for your body to function properly. But it's also going to satiate your palate, right? When we have good, palatable foods that taste good, that are good for us, it just inherently tastes better. So if we choose good food, the right food, we're going to end up eating more of it. Now, yes, of course, if you choose Ding Dongs or Sour Patch, you're probably going to eat more of it because it's delicious. But it's not nutrient dense, right? So there's going to be no nutrition in that. So you want to choose something that you know is going to be nourishing for your body, nourishing for your brain, and just overall nourishment for you. Because there's nothing worse than ending up overeating and you overate like extra potatoes, because the potatoes are good. I've been there. Don't do it. Don't eat the extra potatoes. It's not worth it. So speaking of potatoes, balance your macronutrients mindfully. So macronutrients, those are your proteins, your carbohydrates, your fats. Make sure you know what types you should be eating, right? So protein, we all know protein comes from chicken, fish, meat, turkey. You can get it from spinach, tofu, beans. There's definitely plenty of sources of protein. You just need to get the right ones, right? We're not going to go get it from fried chicken at KFC. All right, we're not going to get it from a burger. Yes, the ground beef patty has protein, but that's not the quality protein that we're looking for. Fats. You're not going to get good, healthy fats from French fries. Sorry, Shauna. Potato sticks, exactly. See? Yes, they're potatoes, right? That's a good example right here. Those are potatoes. But then we throw them in, a lot of oil and fats, and those are the trans fats are the ones that are bad for us. So it's about balancing correctly the macronutrients in your diet. And the carbs are important as well too. Carbs are what gives us energy. And if you're not intaking the right types of carbohydrates, like if you're overeating bread, if you're overeating pasta, processed foods, those are carbohydrates that our body just does not want. The good carbohydrates you're going to want come from fruit. It comes from rice. It comes from potatoes. So choose your macronutrients properly, balance them out properly, and you'll have a better plate, right? It's a healthy plate. There's a healthy plate model. You want 40 to 50% protein, and the other percent you want to fill with fats and carbs based on your goals. So Someone said here it's Red Robin's fault. They keep bringing them. Hey, you know what? Those bottomless fries at Red Robin are no joke. I haven't been there in a long time. It's probably a good thing. Someone else said air fryer potato sticks. It's actually a good suggestion. So that's actually a perfect way to balance your macronutrients mindfully, right? All right, maybe I do want some French fries. There's this really cool thing now that they made. It's called an air fryer, you guys. I know you've heard of it, but if you don't have one, get one. That is a great way to enjoy those types of foods guilt-free, because when you use an air fryer, you don't need to use those oils. So that was a good suggestion on there. If anyone's wondering, that was my wife who made that suggestion for fries. And if you know my wife, you know how much she does love fries, so that makes sense. Just a couple more here, you guys. There's about 5 more items here. Like I said, if you guys have a question, please jump the question in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer it. If not, I'm going to keep going. So the next thing you're going to want to do when you eat is practice gratitude. Now, I try to do this all the time. I try to, wake up and be mindful of the things I'm grateful for when I wake up. I'm grateful, be mindful of the things I'm grateful for when I go to bed. Practicing gratitude for what I eat, that's something that I could work on myself, actually. Now, if you are already accustomed to saying a prayer before your meal, you are already doing that, right? You are already being grateful for the food that's presented to you. You're asking for it to be blessed. You're asking for it to nourish your body. You're being mindful of that food already. So if you're already doing this, great. I got to get on that. I'm not doing it as much. But be grateful, right? I was just telling someone today, we have such an easy way of getting food now, right? I can go down I don't even need to go down the street. I can just go on my phone. I can order groceries now. I can order food into my house, right? So we have to realize that and be so extremely grateful that we are able to get food at the touch of a button. And if we can't recognize that and be grateful for that, then we got bigger problems. So be grateful for your food. Be grateful for how it came to you. Be grateful that you were able to cook it. Be grateful that someone else was able to cook it. Whatever, right? Find something to be grateful in that food. Be grateful that you were able to create a healthy, balanced plate because you were being mindful about choosing your food and cooking your food. Gotcha. All right. There are mealtime rituals. This is kind of the same thing as practicing gratitude. Like saying a prayer, setting the table. That's kind of it. I don't know too many rituals for dinner or breakfast, but saying a prayer, setting the table. Actually a good ritual for us is when we cook dinner. When we're making our food, we're cleaning up at the same time so that when we're done with eating and we're done with cooking, we're just eating and we don't have to worry about big cleanup. That's kind of a good ritual I like to do to make sure that we're getting ready to prepare for meals, and then we're not doing anything else right now, right? We're getting ready to cook, clean, and eat. So it just creates that intention and a better environment for that. Mindful eating and weight management. There has been studies that show that when you do slow down, when you do pay attention more to what you're eating, you do end up losing weight. And that's only because we have attention on it, right? If we're not paying attention to what we're consuming, then we're probably going to just end up consuming excess calories and calories that we shouldn't be consuming, the bad ones. But if we're paying attention to what we're putting into our bodies, then we're going to be more prone to lose that weight that we want to lose more quickly. So mindful eating, lose some weight. When are we talking about healthy alcohol, asking for a friend? Tell your friend. Healthy alcohol, that's funny. You know what? I will be talking about stuff like that, right? So that's actually a good topic. Alcohol. Let's see. So those two words right there, Chelly, healthy and alcohol unfortunately don't go together. But there are ways to be mindful of how much alcohol we consume and what we consume when we're consuming the alcohol, right? So if you're drinking alcohol and eating some cake and eating some French fries and some fried chicken, then we probably have a problem. I'm logging off. But, if you're just having a spirit or something with not a lot of sugar mixed into it, it's not like a super heavy mixed cocktail, and you're just having a nice dinner and you're drinking water alongside it, then that's probably the best way to be healthy with your alcohol intake. You just don't want to do it in excess either, right? You don't want to binge. You don't want to end up blacking out. That's the point, is being mindful when you're drinking your alcohol too. So this mindful eating is really just mindful consuming, because when you're consuming your food, you're nourishing your body, but it also has a lot to do with what we consume mentally, right? We got to be mindful what we're putting into our brains and what we're receiving, so that we're not feeling stressed out, we're not feeling overwhelmed, we're not feeling like other people are doing better than us or whatever. So be mindful of what you're intaking into your body with food, but also be mindful of what you're intaking into your mind. So, because that can have a huge factor on how you eat too, right? Like emotional eating has a big role in people gaining weight, right? Like we put a lot of our feelings in, if we're sad or if we're stressed, we'll end up eating more than we're supposed to. So emotional eating has a lot, can have a big impact on you gaining weight. So be mindful of that, right? Be mindful of how you feel, and be mindful of how you feel when you reach for the things that you shouldn't be reaching for. If you've had a rough day and you're stressed out, and as soon as you come home, the first thing you reach for is a bag of chips or some candy or a bottle of wine or whatever it may be, then maybe we're not being mindful of what we're putting into our bodies, right? So just think about that, right? And be aware of your choices and be aware of how you feel when you do those things. And make sure you're doing this all the time, right? I know it's easy to do these things when we're at home and we're eating by ourselves, but try to do this even when you're out and about, right? When you're out with your friends, you're out with family, whoever it is you're out with, even if you're out in public by yourself and you're eating by yourself, it's okay to stop and close your eyes and say thank you. You don't have to say a full prayer, right? You can say thank you for this food I'm about to eat, and then start eating, right? And then be mindful. Chew your food slowly. Thank you for the chefs in the kitchen who made this food for me today. Or thank you to me for my ability to work hard and be able to afford this food, right? You can be thankful for yourself too. You're the one who got yourself the food. You're the one who made yourself the food. You're the one who made the choices to eat right food. So you can be grateful to yourself and be, give yourself a pat on the back as well. All right. So just pay attention to what you're doing when you're eating. Pay attention to what you're buying when you're at the grocery store. Be grateful for the ability to have an enormous amount of food at your fingertips, because if there's a fruit not in season, you're probably still going to be able to get a fruit that's not in season, because they make them year round, right? So just think about those things. You're able to get food whenever you need it. You're able to get the right kind of food. You just have to be mindful of that and make the right decision. You always notice if you don't get enough protein for breakfast, I eat so much more junk food. That's absolutely correct. The best thing to avoid overeating in the morning or snacking on things you shouldn't before lunchtime is to have a high protein breakfast, so that you don't binge later and you don't make poor choices. High protein is going to help fill you up. It's going to give you the right fuel for the day and prevent you from overeating later. So yeah, that's all I got. Close that laptop. I'm done. Get out of here. All right, guys. I'll see you later. No, I'm just kidding. I'll see you guys next week, because I'll be here in the office. Because this is where the lives are. So next Monday, 7 o'clock. Oh, wait. I'm going to talk about what we're talking about next week. Protein overnight oats. That's a good option too. If you guys have seen my photos lately, I do, what's it called? What do I do? Yogurt with protein and peanut butter and some blueberries. So high protein. But anyways, you guys, yogurt. What? What'd you call me? Next Monday, we'll be talking about staying motivated when you hit your plateaus, staying motivated when you don't see any progress. So that's kind of more, motivational one, a little more mental health there. So if you feel that you've been, we're in February, right? If you've been working hard at the beginning of the year and you feel like, oh man, I've only lost like 1 pound, or I haven't reached the goal I thought I was going to be at by this time. That's okay. Let's figure out what that is. Let's overcome those plateaus. And at some point you just got to make adjustments, right? Reassess the goals. So next Monday, 7:00, be here and I'll be here. And then for those of you on YouTube, thanks for watching. I will be uploading these videos the next morning. So Monday night, so Tuesday morning, they'll be up on YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please do so. It's at Coach Adamir on YouTube as well. The more subscribers I get on there to follow, I can actually start doing lives on there. And I kind of want to move these to YouTube just because they can be longer. And YouTube has a little bit less rules. So, next Monday, 7:00. If you have any questions throughout the week, write them down. If you feel up for it and you just want to ask me, just send me a message on Instagram. I'd love to answer your questions. So have a great week, you guys. Don't forget, love yourself and go be the best version of yourself. Bye.